Thrustmaster, producers of joysticks, flightsticks, and HOTAS systems for simulators, recently released a scenery pack for Microsoft Flight Sim. The scenery pack is for an imaginary island located off the eastern seaboard of the United States in the Atlantic. This scenery pack is something they developed for internal testing, and they graciously decided to release it to the public for free. The pack is called, wait for it, iLand, the very definition of creative naming. It's currently a work in progress. In the description of this video, you'll find a link to the page where you can download the scenery pack. You'll need to supply an email address and agree to a few things, and then slide this CAPTCHA type control over to the right to enable the download button. If you have an ad blocker installed on your browser, you'll need to disable it for this page in order to get the download to work. Once completed, you'll start your download of an almost 13 gigabyte file, so sit back and drink some coffee or have a kupa na jambuti while it arrives. Once downloaded, I put it on my desktop and unzipped it to my desktop. Once that was done, I deleted the zip file and ran the installer as an administrator. I'm not sure if it needs that, but it had the admin shield on the icon, so I figured why risk it and installed it as an admin. The installer found my community folder automatically and began extracting the files to that location. Once it was done, I checked the size of the add-on, and it was still around 13 gigabytes total. Then I fired up the sim. Once in the sim, I set up a flight with the old icon A5 and searched for I-land, which the world map found. There's no map data for it in the world map, but points of interest and a couple of airports are marked, so it's easy to get a flight going at this location. I set midday as the time and scattered clouds for the weather. Once in the air, one of the things that became immediately clear was that this scenery pack is not optimized in any way. I got massive amounts of stuttering, and at one point was down to less than 1 FPS, so depending on your system, this scenery pack may not be a practical addition to the sim for you, and clearly it's really not for my setup, but we'll have a look at this regardless. I thought I'd do a quick tour around the island and show off the landscape. It's dotted with a few giant signs that indicate that it's a work in progress. As such, I hope they'll optimize it for performance as they continue to develop it. There's a snowy mountain peak off in the distance, and the island is actually quite large. There's also these kind of odd horn-shaped objects protruding from the water in a few different spots around the island. We have some cliffs and a waterfall over here, and up over the cliff we have a huge city off in the distance. Adjacent to the city are more of these work-in-progress signs. There's a nicely modeled marina here, and none of the boats are underwater unlike most marinas in the sim. Heading over to the city proper, we can see that it's very, very nicely detailed. My performance is at its worst around the city area here as well, less than 1 FPS in some areas. It looks like they may have borrowed some building assets from the London financial district, but the detail is excellent and it all looks very nice. They have an arch here reminiscent of the St. Louis Arch in the United States. There's a large airport adjacent to the city over here, has a fair amount of detail and some interesting architecture as well. Overall, I think it looks really nice. I do hope they continue to improve it going forward so that I can actually use it as a practical scenery addition. Okay, I hope this video helps someone out there. If you liked the video, please click like, as that helps other folks find it. And until the next video, take care.